These little talks that I do from time to time, I just had to share this one. I could not hold it in my brain any longer. If you like these talks, please subscribe. There's a little button down below somewhere. You swipe around, it says notify me when Will goes live. Or you could do me a big favor and join our email list, or actually I'm not supposed to say email list. You could do me a big favor and join our tribe at stringsattachedmusic.net. I was watching an interview with Bob Schneider, who we did a show with in 2006 and a couple of the shows around that time. It was a really amazing experience, and there's some videos I'll try to put below that you can see the collaboration between Bob Schneider and Strings Attached. Really fun alchemy between us. I really miss playing with Bob. But I saw an interview a couple days ago where he was talking about he doesn't really feel all that successful, like he's still shooting for a certain level of success. And he said when he thinks of the artists that have made it and are in, in the Hall of Fame or whatnot, they don't really write unbelievable, amazing songs after that. It's very uncommon. So I'm making a little video. So it's very uncommon when you find a successful artist make an amazing song. I thought the kids were gone, but now they're back. But let's see if we can do this. In any case, so Bob said, the songs that are written, that are the big hits, that are just amazing works of art, the song had to, in a way, save the writer. They had to write it with, this song is going to save me. And I thought, that was true for me when I was starting out. And I was working a job at Texas Guaranteed Student Loan Corporation, and I wanted to do whatever I had to do to not have to work in a cubicle for any amount of time. So I said, you know what? You're going to do whatever it takes. And I set about to getting out of that paradigm of working a day job at age, 19 or 20, and did everything possible, from playing weddings to playing on 6th Street. Eventually, I put out my first album. I think I was 22, hired a bunch of Austin players. But I remember sitting at the piano, and it was like falling in love, with music, and being so into this world that I truly believed, whether I was capable of it or not, that my music was going to save me from ending up and working a computer job for the rest of my life, or not the rest of my life, but for the foreseeable future. And to the degree, I was able to do that with actually, my own original music. Put out an album, got to tour Canada. So I think there's many different places that art can play. Like, not everybody has to go out there and write the most earth-shattering, artful song. We can play music for fun. We can play it as a way of creating community and interaction among humans. Music has many purposes, but if you want to write a great song, it's an idea to think, well, how could you reproduce that feeling that I want this song or this piece of music to save me? And how would you write? And how could we return to that state of mind? Or is that state of mind something that only happens at a small, brief period of time when we're so young and we believe it's so true? Or could we, in midlife, recreate the conditions? I think we can. I think it's possible to do that. I think we absolutely can, and that might be part of what this whole midlife thing is anyway. So it's all part of the journey, right? But I thought it was a very interesting thing that Bob Schneider said, and it very much resonated with me. So we can write music or songs from many different places, from many different states of mind. Right now I'm working on writing simple melodies that tell a story without any accompaniment. So when you think about, just as a challenge to myself, when you think about what are the melodies that have endured over time, they're the simple melodies, simple gifts. What's another one? Write one below. Amazing Grace. And with just a short collection of notes, they're able to tell a story. So I thought, it's time to revisit melody. And I've been revisiting melody for the last couple of years and challenging myself, could I write a melody that doesn't have any chromatic tones? Chromatic tones being like this. that basically uses just the major scale, but has something to say and tells a story without any accompaniment? Could I write a melody and then from that place of a very strong melody that tells a story, not be worried about if I'm being original or not necessarily? Then I take that melody and then I can arrange from that place, because that's really what a lot of the great composers did. They wrote themes and then they used those themes as jumping off places to write entire compositions, or they wrote motifs. In Beethoven's case, yeah, it's just a motif. And he was able to create giant pieces just stringing together motifs and orchestrations. In any case, so I've been working on writing simple melodies. And so if you want to hear more videos like this, please click the button below to be notified when I go live, or get on my tribe list. I will take care of you. You'll get to see some great content, and I'm going to make a video about this new simple melody I've written called Garden by the Sea, and the process that I'm going through to arrange it, and how many different ways it can go based on the arrangement. And I also like using reference recordings. So maybe I'll go listen to an Alison Krauss, or maybe I'll listen to an ancient melody that's been arranged by some bluegrass musicians and see what they do with it, just for inspiration, for a jumping off point, and see how many different roads that I can go down. So I'm going to share that with you in the next video, and you'll see the basic melody, you'll see the chords, you'll see things that I can do, that I want to do and try out, and just try things out. Like, just ask the question, what if, and see what we can create. Because I'm in the process of sort of creating another album right now, which is going to involve some friends here in Austin, and it's an album of simple melodies. And something just sprung to mind is an artist that has really inspired me, who's also comes from the jazz tradition, is Bill Frisell. Bill Frisell has spent a lot of time revisiting traditional music, but still he's able to add his own personal signature just a little bit to it. So he walks that line between being in this traditional, passed down oral tradition, and taking that tradition and adding his own flavor to it. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do, just as a lesson, just to be curious and see what I could do with this. When I was a kid, I wouldn't want to write things that are complex. I felt like it wasn't original, and if I wrote something really like this, that's what I liked when I was a kid. Or if I wrote chords like this. And I hope that Roger Myers doesn't mind me saying hi to him. Yeah, when I met Roger Meyer, who's the viola professor up at UT, I think in the mid-90s I was playing jazz viola. My mind was more concerned about how original could I be. And if anything sounded slightly reminiscent of another style, I considered that a kind of a failure. Well, Bill Frisell kind of followed a similar path. If you listen to his early music, it's very disjointed. And then, 15 years into his career, he started revisiting simple, traditional music. Some things that might just have one or two chords, but you could still hear that it was Bill Frisell. Yes. All right, so if you enjoy videos like this, I'd sure appreciate you sharing it, making comments below. That helps me. Subscribe to be notified below. There's all links down there, and get on the email list where you can get all kinds of perks that you'll find out about if you're on the email list. It's stringsattachedtomusic.net. We have a great community, and all of our music is on Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music. Very easy to find. Will Taylor and Strings Attached. Hope to see you soon.